I'm going to talk about asking it is given in a completely different way today. We're going to talk about, yes, asking it is given. How does this work for you? Real simple. Real simple. And we're going to talk about why it may not be working for you, if you feel like it's not. I'm asking all the time. I'm not receiving. Yeah. Well, we're also going to talk about how it's affecting the entire planet and how the same formula can be turned around if you see it differently and you change the same pattern that we've been in for centuries. Asking it is given could turn this entire planet around, and it could change your life today. You want to learn how to do this in the most powerful, effective way? Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Do you like my sparkly hat? All right, we're having coffee. We've got a little construction going on. We are going to plow through. Yeah. Asking it is given. I actually teach this in a different way. If you've been to my trainings, this is free by the way. If you've been to my trainings, then you know that I explain this in a way that can change how you think about this and start to bring in anything into your life. You can start to manifest things that'll blow people's minds. Now, the biggest hurdle we have is the ask. Now, I use give and you shall receive. When people ask and it is given, they're coming from usually, and it wasn't meant to be this way, but most people are asking out of a feeling and belief of lack. I don't have it. And that's different from a desire. It's still a desire, but it is a feeling of lack and I don't have. You are giving that message to the universe and you're receiving that same thing. All right, that's why I do give and you shall receive. It's immediate until you change it, and then it shifts gears and goes down a different path. But most people, when they're asking, and it's a given, well, I'm asking, don't realize they're asking the universe for lack. Because I'm asking, because I'm not asking what I'm saying, I'm asking what I'm feeling. So if I ask for abundance or, a more loving relationship or a better job, or whatever it is, if I'm in stress because I'm running a story in my head about all of this, that's the ask. That's the ask. I say give. What do I truly want in my life? I need to give it. So then it changes your way of thinking. Then you're not thinking to yourself, wow, I'm giving lack. I don't want to give lack, so I'll give abundance. I'll give abundance. All right? I'll give, positive thoughts. I'll give you. So then you focus on what you're placing out there. Because when you ask, you're thinking about this and you're caught up in, your own thinking and you're not realizing what message you're putting out because this is putting that out. So the ask, hey, listen. Who hasn't wanted to or has dropped down to their knees and said, just help me. Show me the way. Change this. What do I need to do? Right? Feeling alone. You're never alone. That is at the moment when you have the most power because you're vulnerable, because you're placing your ego aside, saying, I'm ready, I'm open. I'll receive it. But the ask at that moment almost always is that I don't hold that power and that there's something else going to do it for me. So you keep waiting for that and it can't because you are the creator of that. So when you keep waiting for it, does this make sense? You keep waiting for it. There's no separate entity going to do something separate from you. You're doing it. So we have to go into a proactive state of being. Now let's talk about how this affects the entire planet. When we are in a state here of worry and believing that we are going down a very negative road, then we're giving the universe the directive that that's who and what we are. And so it is. Somebody asked me if they thought we were going to go into some, let's just say horrific nuclear kind of situation. And I said, no. I think we were. I think we were on that path. I don't think we're going to go down it. But we can change that. We can, if we believe and we go to a negative state of mind, start to create all kinds of things. Horrific things. Not because we want that. I don't want that, Landria. I know. None of us do. But you're believing it. Because you don't believe that you are asking with those thoughts. I'm giving that thought out there. I'm receiving that. Whatever I'm giving out here, I'm receiving. I'm asking. My ask is for destruction. My ask is for lack. My ask is for violence and conflict. My ask is for, we're never going to pull out of this, because I'm believing that. With those thoughts, you are directing the universe. I'm going to tell you something right now. Those of you, whoever said, I usually love your stuff, Landria, but the DNA thing, it's not, our relatives' fault. We're blaming our ancestors. I never even talked about that in that video. You need to give proof. I don't need to do anything. If you want to look up proof, go ahead and do it. I can't prove anything to you. In fact, most of the stuff I talk about, I can't possibly prove to you. I can walk on water. Prove it. Well, you have to do it. You have to demonstrate. Right? Demonstration is the most powerful way. But our science doesn't understand who and what we are. And even though there are studies out there that DNA has shifted, it has changed, it is different in some people, and that somehow it is becoming more activated, I'm telling you what I've experienced. And that is, we are going through a very big change. It's been happening, but it's accelerating. And so through the ask, even though my DNA, let's say it's shifting, I'm becoming more powerful because the entire frequency of the planet is raising. So that frequency, how is that changing? Why? Why? Prove it to me. Well, NASA can prove it. It has shifted. Her song changed. Your body's changing, so everything's energy, so everything changes along with that. We don't stay static. We do evolve. There are a lot of things in our bodies that have changed, and yours is changing. Now, a lot of you have had this DNA shift. So we have to be careful now with our power, because if you're going to a more spiritual, open, loving place, which is probably why it's happening to you, you still have the power to do anything, to manifest. So you can choose to go into darkness too. Doesn't mean you're going to stay in some heightened, awakened state. Everything's a choice at every moment. This is why we got to be on our game. And so you have the ability to ask, and it is given through your thought and your belief. So you can say, I want peace, but if you believe, truly believe, that that's not what's going to happen, that is the ask, and it will be given. Be careful with those thoughts. Yeah. So I want to share with you that, we're in a dense world of non-believers. We are in a world where the ego controls everything from its thoughts to wanting to be right, to telling people what they should and shouldn't do. And we go into such unconscious states of being that we don't even hear ourselves speak. You don't need anything. You don't need anybody else to do something the way you want or think the way you want them to. What are you doing? It's all just about you. All you have to do to raise the frequency of the planet, right? One light being at a time. It starts here. You are in unconsciousness right now on purpose. Don't try to figure it out. Be amazing. Let's start to go into our experimental phase of what can I create? I have Activate Your Magic is out. It's advanced manifesting. I don't take everybody into that class. And all we focus on is the manifesting process. Not just, here's a vision board and how you do it. light a candle and say something 3 times. I take you into the whole breakthrough fear platform that I teach, and that is your ask is happening every moment. You're changing this entire planet with it. You're changing your own life, and therefore it is going and going and going. Just like your parents said something, and then it came to you, and then you believed it, and then you do it with your kids, and it goes on and on. We have to break this cycle. It's not easy because when you're in an unconscious state, you don't recognize your own unconsciousness, your own comments, your own right and wrong and judgment and separation. I've had students who are super awakened state turn around and say something that's just mind-blowingly unconscious. They don't even hear themselves. That's the toughest thing, is to catch that, and you can do this. Ask, and it is given. What is the ask? That's what I'm receiving. What is the real ask? Not what I'm saying. What am I thinking and feeling behind it? What is the ask I'm placing out there about my world? Maybe I'm asking for more pay or a loving relationship, and I believe that. But what am I doing every day about my planet? Do I believe that I'm going to have to go off-grid? By the way, anybody who asks about off-grid, if you go into Landria Onkka Free Inspiration, the first thing you get is a free webinar in my thank you page for the guys who are teaching people how to go off-grid and actually create $30,000 a month income, generate income. You don't have to be broke and, starving out there. And they're teaching that. So you can access that. Asking is given. Do I think we're going to go into a world that's so savage that I have to go off grid out of fear? Or am I going to do it because I'm going to help create a better world that values the planet? And I'm going to earn money doing it in a way that's offering amazing things to other people and abundance. And we're going to create abundance, and we're going to create gardens that are healthy and teachings, and we're going to have exchanges and community. Am I going to do that? Or am I going to do it from fear? That's the ask. All right? That's what you're believing. You ready for this? So, you guys, I hope you'll subscribe. My channel doesn't grow like other people's because I don't talk about sensational stuff. I don't talk about the end of the world in a way that is fearful, because it doesn't have to be. And you can create anything you want. And that's not really popular. People want me to tell them what's going to happen. People love to have their futures told. I'm actually going to talk to somebody who wants me to promote their psychics. I've got some very interesting questions for this person. Because I believe that you control your future. And yes, somebody can tell you where you are with your ask. But you can change it. You ready to change it? This is a learning place. This is a learning experience. All of it is. You're going to have that every day of your life. Whatever you give, you're receiving. Are you giving love and compassion? Are you giving abundance? Are you giving? And are you doing it from a place of love? Because that exists for you right now. You're unconditionally loved. You're absolutely beautiful and perfect. You've never lost touch with this power that you are. You're not an individual soul or entity. You're an energy field that has no boundaries. And so everything is connected as one. It's just one. It cannot be described. That's you. And you're here on an amazing adventure, journey, experience. Don't miss out on it. You can do anything you want with it. Ask, and it is given. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.